This is when your real life begins. Nietzsche. You think your life already started, but Nietzsche would disagree. He believed most people exist, but never truly live. They follow routines, inherit beliefs, play roles written by others. But real life? It begins only when you choose to break free, to think for yourself, to question the script. That moment, when comfort becomes a cage, is when your true life finally begins. Nietzsche didn't whisper, he roared. He saw a world full of sleepwalkers, numb, obedient, afraid of their own thoughts. He didn't want you to be good. He wanted you to be awake. Because to truly live, you must risk being alone. You must stand against the herd, against expectations, against your own programmed self. It's painful, but that pain is the door. Real life waits on the other side. That's why Nietzsche spoke of rebirth. Not once, but over and over. The old self must die. The one built from fear, from obedience, from survival. Only then can something authentic emerge. Not a better version of who you were, but someone entirely new. Someone forged, not born. Your real life doesn't begin with success or approval. It begins with collapse. Collapse isn't failure. It's freedom. It's the crumbling of illusions you thought were truth. The job you hated. The identity you outgrew. The beliefs you never chose. When they fall away, what remains is terrifying. But it's yours. You start from nothing. And that nothing is sacred. Because now, you're not rebuilding for them. You're rebuilding for you. Nietzsche called it the Übermensch, the one who creates values instead of inheriting them. Not a superhero, but a human who's no longer afraid to be fully alive. This isn't arrogance, it's responsibility. To live by your truth when it's inconvenient. To speak when silence is safe. To walk alone, not because you hate others, but because your path hasn't been walked before. But be warned, freedom isn't applause. It's quiet, uncomfortable. Most will call you selfish, difficult, even lost. Because you no longer play the game. You don't chase their gods, their goals, their validation. You've stopped performing, and that threatens them. But Nietzsche said, to live is to suffer. To survive is to find meaning in the suffering. Your suffering isn't punishment. It's proof you're alive. The pain you feel, it's the friction of transformation. It means you're growing beyond the skin you once called self. Nietzsche didn't tell you to escape it. He told you to embrace it, to dive into it, because inside that pain is power, a truth unfiltered by fear, a fire that doesn't consume, it forges. And once you've walked through that fire, you'll never need permission to be who you are again. On the other side of that fire, you don't find peace. You find clarity, not comfort, but conviction. You realize you don't need to fit in. You were never meant to. Your real life isn't in their timelines, their milestones, their applause. It's in the stillness of walking your own path, even when no one sees you, even when no one claps, because now you finally see yourself. You see a self not built on reaction, but intention. Not shaped by fear, but by fire. You no longer shrink to make others comfortable. You no longer explain your evolution. Because now you're not seeking a life, you're living it. And that makes you dangerous to a world that profits from your sleep. Your awakening isn't rebellion, it's revolution. The revolution isn't loud, it's steady. It's in the way you choose silence over noise, depth over distraction, authenticity over approval. And every quiet choice is a crack in the facade of the world they handed you. Nietzsche believed the greatest act of rebellion is to create your own values, to live like your soul matters, even when no one else understands. Especially then. Now you carry something rare, not answers but awareness. You no longer chase meaning, you shape it. In your work, your words, your quiet presence. You don't need to prove anything, because living truthfully is its own proof. You've stopped waiting for life to begin, because you finally realized it already has. Right here, right now, and it's yours. So when Nietzsche said, "This is when your real life begins," he wasn't pointing to a date, a job, a relationship. He was pointing to a moment, the one where you say, "No more sleep." The one where you stop surviving and start creating. Where your life isn't a reaction, but a declaration. And from that moment on, everything changes. Not because the world is new, but because you are.